We are predicting that the overall emerging East Asia growth in 2012 will be around 7.2%, whereas for China it will be around 8.8%, which is moderating from the growth in 2011.
So which particular Asian economies, Mr. Azis, will suffer the most amid this slowdown in the Eurozone?
Well, the first round effect are those countries that are relatively export-oriented. So those economies in which the share of the export in the GDP is relatively high, say more than 50%. But then that is only the first round impact. But the second round impact, unfortunately, will affect almost all emerging East Asian countries.
Affected indeed. So could this push some of the export-oriented economies in Asia into a recession?
We are not predicting that there will be recession in the region, but when we said about being affected, basically we adjust downward, and in some cases it's a bit sharply, because the way we do is we run 3 different scenarios, from the most severe scenarios, and that is the global crisis scenario, to the least sort of severe scenario, in which only if Europe is in recession.
So, Mr. Azis, for Asian economies to protect themselves from a severe slowdown in their respective economies, what must they implement at this point?
First thing is that they have to continue relying on the domestic demand, because the good news is that when we look at the last 3 quarters trend of the sources of growth in the region, has been mostly domestic demand, especially the consumption, and to some extent also investment. The second is really they have to start facilitating the trade with other parts of the world.
Are we likely to see central banks more aggressive in 2012 to be able to jumpstart growth?
I think what Asian officials will do is a mixture of policies, because, you know, we cannot just rely on one monetary policy, but they are going also to use some fiscal policy, because some countries in the region still have some fiscal space to do another round of, you know, stimulus packets and things like that. So it's not only monetary policy.